Hello everybody, this is Journey Through the Nebula. I'm Harry Truitt, and today I wanted to do a video about how channeling is good for your health. And it's really important for your health actually, in my opinion, or in my experience at least, although, it's each to their own. So what channeling is essentially at an energetic level is an opening up to non-physical energies. And most people associate channeling as a form of, communicating with extraterrestrials and archangels and all that kind of crazy zany stuff, which is super cool and is possible with it. But it's a lot more common than that. When somebody does a beautiful art piece, when somebody gets in the flow running or just exploring, or it's just jumping around and having fun, a lot of the time this is what we would understand as a channeling state, but not in just because it's not speaking to some other entity in the way that we'd understand it doesn't mean that it's not. And actually what happens is energetically through your body is when you don't channel, it's like you reduce the bandwidth of information coming in. So there's only a very thin slither of bandwidth coming in. And with that energy that comes into you, there's all sorts of information about how your cells are to replenish themselves and to rejuvenate yourselves, and lots of new thought systems for your thoughts to, firstly, to help you discard old thoughts that are just clogging up the way, and to give you new thoughts and understandings to upgrade the way that you see the world around you so that you can deal with this information that's coming towards you. So it's really, really important to do this. So if anybody, I'm going to do a video on how to channel in terms of the whole, speak to Betazoid 9.5 from Arcturus or whatever kind of thing. So I'm going to do a video on that. But really letting yourself free to do something in a way that you're not judging yourself and you're not critiquing yourself on. Because what happens is we constantly critique our actions from a fear-based perspective. We say, no, we can't do this because that is going to hurt me, or this is going to be scary, or I'm going to be isolated if I do that. If I just jump around and go, woo, I'm having fun, I'm going to kind of set loose a bit, then people are going to judge me and I'm going to be isolated and I'm going to be alone. And if I'm alone, then that means I'm going to be miserable and then I'm going to die, kind of thing. Which is understandable, but we need to kind of free ourselves from the shackles of that whole mindset. It's understandable, and we have to have a certain amount of this. We have to, don't walk in front of cars on the road or you're going to get hit by a car, and you have to don't eat those red berries on that bush and that kind of stuff. And yeah, that stuff is important, but what happens is if that stuff gets too much of a hold on us, then it closes us down. Recently, I've been really closed down by these thoughts, by this whole, social anxiety and lots of other of these kind of things that have made me stay in my comfort zone. I'm just going to do the same old things that I usually do, and I'm going to stay in the same places, and I'm not going to do new exciting things because I'm operating from a fear-based mindset. And we try and we realize that this is harming us within this fear-based mindset, but rather than opening up to a new way of being, we try and escape it from a fear-based mindset. So there's a loop. So it's like, oh, I'm in a place of fear-based mindset. How do I escape? Using fear-based mindset logic. And it's just a spiral inwards, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And you're left with less and less and less of yourself until there's only a tiny amount of yourself actually being expressed through your body. Whereas when you open up to energies, when you open up to feel, when you open up to feel and sense and experience, you know, just experience the experience of your body, you realize that I can almost sense, like, you know, if you get in touch with like non-physical energies, I almost feel sort of it's almost like you feel like an opening on your head, and there's like a sort of this light, sort of almost kind of tingly feeling where you feel like you're opening up and you're being suddenly nourished with this energy. So often it's about relaxing, but one of the ways that I like to do it, if you guys want to try, is by nonsense talk. That's one of my favorite ways to do it. And you'll very quickly enter the channeling state if you do this, if you let yourself be a little bit comfortable. And so you say noop that gluk duk da do do, and you can just do this by yourself or with a friend that you want to do. It's really fun to speak with friends. This is a really fun bonding experience. But you can do this by yourself, and you go and naturally your brain is sort of pulled into like okay, I'm not operating in my usual patterns way, and suddenly you feel you're just boom opened to these new energies. And actually the sounds that you produce can actually be healing. They can come with energetic frequencies that are being channeled through you, and because you're saying these nonsense words, they're sort of, you allow yourself to bypass the usual filter of fear and constriction and understanding that you usually have, because you allow yourself to stray into nonsense and peculiarity, which is actually where a lot of the magic lies. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to leave you with today, guys. Also, interesting fact, maybe I'm going to start doing this. So here we have a little, oh, where's the camera? Yeah, a little acorn here. And here's one with a little bite mark in it. And actually there's colonies of tiny ants that can sometimes live in little acorns. You know, a few hundred of them with a little queen in there. Just very, very small ants. And they can live inside these things, and you know, usually we think of these big sort of massive colonies. But yeah, so you can find, I don't know whether it's in what regions of the world, but I do know that is a thing. So yeah, interesting fact there. I'm going to start straying more into my interest in, I have a lot of interest in plant biology, and just the smaller things, because we overlook a lot of stuff. You know, I'll pick up this acorn as, oh, it's just an acorn. But just, you can imagine all these tiny little beings living inside here, and you learn about how plants reproduce and the structures of them, and I find it very interesting to see so much more depth in the things that you've taken for granted. And that's been something that's been running through my mind recently, and I find it very interesting, and I'm probably going to do some more videos on that. So yeah, nice to see you guys. Mwah. I will see you soon. Bye.